Welcome to UG chapters of English affiliated to BCU. Second sem BA, BBA, BCA, BCom. Hayavadana, an extract written by Girish Raghunath Karnad. Tributes before we start. In his life, he embodied the richness and depth of Indian civilization more nobly and less self consciously than anyone else I knew. Ramchandra Guha. Can you think of anyone else who could become president of the Oxford Union, could then come back and write brilliant plays in Kannada, could direct art films and also act in Salman Khan movies? Just a glimpse of what a Renaissance man Girish Karnad was. Veer Sanghvi. For Girish Karnad, ideas of resistance were not confined to books. He took them to the streets. Arundhati Ghosh. A flame has been extinguished that lit up so many minds. Sashi Tharoor. Girish Raghunath Karnad. The point about a play is that it cannot simply be about its own time. A very well known figure, let's know more about him. The late Girish Karnad was a renowned Kannada writer, playwright, and poet whose versatility and creativity were exhibited through multifarious platforms like acting, publishing, filmmaking, directing, and comparing of television talk shows. He earned his bachelor's degree in mathematics and statistics at Karnataka University. While pursuing his master's in politics, philosophy, and economics as a Rhodes Scholar at Oxford, he wrote his critically acclaimed first play, Yayati, in Kannada. His adopted tongue, although he wanted to earn international fame by writing in English. His second play, Tughlaq, remained his best known play. He worked as an actor and director with Madras Players and English plays. He donned the lead roles in the Kannada versions of Oedipus Rex and the Kannada play Jyokumaraswamy, directed by B.V. Karanta. His plays were thought provoking and evoked critical responses. He largely explored the best present by way of the past. He wrote 9 plays in Kannada and translated 6 of them into English. He was particular about translating his plays as translation for Karnad was a quest for suitable cultural equivalents. Karnad retold myth to make it relevant and to suit contemporary reality. Nagamandala, one of such popular plays, won the Karnataka Sahitya Academy Award. His play Taledanda won the Karnataka Nataka Academy Award. Hayavadana is even now widely recognized as one of his most important plays of post-independent India. He was awarded the Padma Shri, the India's top civilian awards, in 1974. His entry into the film world was through the making of Samskara. He won the President's Gold Medal Award for script, dialogue writing, and for the lead role in the movie. This was followed by Vamsavriksha, co-directed by B.V. Karanta. He acted in several Hindi feature films, television films, and serials of Mrinal Sen, Satyajit Ray, and Shyam Benegal. In 1992, the Indian government awarded Karnad another of its highest honors, the Padma Bhushan, in recognition of his contributions to arts. For his contributions to literature and theatre, he was awarded the Jnanapith Award, India's highest literary honor, in 1998. He continued to work in films, directing such movies as Kannuru Hegarthi in 1999 and acting in Iqbal 2005, Life Goes On 2009 and 24 2016. Among other noteworthy films, Karnad was part of India's post-independence renaissance. as much at ease with exploring classical Sanskrit plays as the finer points of the Yakshagana tradition. Let's know what the play is all about. Hayavadana, written in 1971, is based on Thomas Mann's 1940 novella, The Transposed Heads, which itself reminds one of a tale from a Sanskrit text of 11th century, namely Kathasarathi Sagara. It is perhaps the first modern play to use a folk art form. The play articulates the story of two friends who are in love with the same woman and whose heads are accidentally interchanged. A comedy ending in tragedy, the layered narrative also relates the story of a man with a horse's head who seeks to become human. It is written in two acts with the character of the Bhagavata providing a commentary on the events unfolding in the play. This was the introduction to the play. The play begins, and I have given it in as a summary. The play can be read through your ebooks, which I have already posted to you. The play begins with the puja to Lord Ganesha seeking his blessings for the success of the play. Ganesha himself is a hybrid being with an elephant head and a human body. So, the theme of hybridity and incompleteness begins here. Ganesha himself represents the idea of incompleteness through his mismatched body. The Bhagavata or worshipper of Ganesha introduces the characters, two friends, Devadatta and Kapila, are the major characters, the first being a handsome Brahmin poet, the second the plain-looking son of an ironsmith. Devadatta is known for his intellect and sensitivity, while Kapila is known for his physical strength. They represent intellect and sexuality, mind and matter, respectively. While the Bhagavata is describing these men, he is interrupted by an actor who runs on stage screaming in horror. He claims to have seen a strange creature. This is when the creature Hayavadana enters the stage. Hayavadana also has a mismatched head and body, the head of a horse on the body of a man. This mismatch proves to be real when the Bhagavata tries to pry the horse's head from the human body. Hayavadana explains his peculiar condition by narrating the story of his strange birth. His mother, a princess who fell in love with a horse, lived with it for 15 years until her love broke the curse of the horse. The horse returned to its true form, which was that of a celestial being, Gandharva. She decided not to accompany him back to heaven, and he in turn cursed her by turning her into a horse. Hayavadana is a result of that strange union. On completion of the story of his birth, the Bhagavata advises Hayavadana to go to the temple of Kali for seeking her grace to become a complete human being. Hayavadana leaves the place to do so. The story further unfolds when Devadatta enters the scene. He asks his friend Kapila to find out the name and address of the woman whom he loves. He tells him that he loves her so much that he would sacrifice his head and his arms to have her. Kapila finds the woman's home and knocks on her door, only to fall in love with her. Yet he tells Padmini, the lady that Devadatta loves, about his friend's wish to marry her. Devadatta and Padmini marry, and Padmini is due to bear their son in 6 months. The two are supposed to go on a trip to Ujjain with their friend Kapila, but Devadatta is hesitant as he believes that Padmini is attracted to his friend. Due to Devadatta's jealousy, Padmini decides to cancel the trip but changes her mind when Kapila arrives. The party passes a temple and Devadatta decides to honor his promise by giving up an arm and his head. He leaves the pair and cuts off his head. Kapila finds a dead Devadatta and decides to cut off his head as well. When Padmini finds her husband and his friend headless, she decides to kill herself, but is stopped by the goddess Kali. She asks Padmini to place the men's heads back to their bodies so that she could heal them. Padmini rushes to follow the goddess's instructions, but as the men are revived, she finds that in her haste she has mixed up the heads and placed them on the wrong bodies. On returning home, the two men argue over who is Padmini's husband. Kapila's head claims that his body accepted her hand in marriage and created the child. Devadatta's head argues that his head is in charge of the body, so he claims to be her husband. Padmini chooses Devadatta's head. Soon after, Devadatta goes to the fair in Ujjain and purchases two dolls in preparation for his child's arrival. Padmini gives birth to her child. The child's doll narrates some of the action in the household. Padmini is pleased with Devadatta's new body until it begins to look more and more like his old one. She picks fight with Devadatta and the dolls reveal that she secretly dreams of Kapila. On a trip to the forest with her son, Padmini comes upon Kapila living in the woods. Devadatta's body has softened, but Kapila has regained his former strength. Padmini tells Kapila that her son is also Kapila's son, since her husband has his body. She points out that her son has a mole in the same place that Kapila does. Padmini stays in the woods with him for several days. Devdatta goes looking for Padmini and finds her with Kapila. The two men fight and both die. Padmini plans to commit sati and instructs Bhagavata to take her son to hunters. She asks him to tell them that her child, a Kapila's son. She further asks him to take the child to Devdatta's father after 5 years and tell him that he is Devdatta's son. Meanwhile, Hayavadana comes into the scene as a complete horse. The transformation is due to goddess Kali, who changes him into a complete horse instead of a complete human being. Padmini's son is also there, and the Bhagavata says that the boy does not speak or laugh. But on hearing this strange story, the boy laughs and sings along with Hayavadana, who wishes to have a horse's voice. Hayavadana's attempts to claim a horse's voice keeps the boy laughing. Eventually, Hayavadana's laugh sounds like a horse's neigh. Action ends with a thanksgiving to Ganesha for having made the play successful. The universal predicament of the gap between expectations and realities is wonderfully drawn by Girish Karnad through the first act. It raises profound questions of what constitute identity and beauty, supreme intellect or raw physical prowess, brain or brawn. It also hearkens to the conflict being played out within each of us to achieve completeness and further recounts how often one fails to get there. The play, therefore, deals with different aspects of human challenges and its limitations. It illustrates that the drama of incompleteness is eternally being played out. The three levels of incompleteness are dealt with here: divine, Ganesha; human, Hayavadana; and animal, Hayavadana with his hoarse voice. Furthermore, the play underlines the quest and struggle for locating and molding identities to fill the gaps are inevitable, incomprehensible, and eternal. Hayavadana was first presented in English by the Madras Players at the Museum Theatre, Madras on 7 December 1972. It was directed by Lakshmi Krishnamurthy and Yamuna Prabhu with music by B.V. Karanth. The cast and the character: Bhagavata, Actor 1; Hayavadana, Actor 2; Devadatta, Kapila, Padmini, Doll 1, Doll 2, Goddess Kali, and the child. The summary of the play is very simple. Hayavadana is a play by Indian writer Girish Karnad. The play tells the story of two friends who are in love with the same woman and who accidentally swap heads. A comedy ending in tragedy, the narrative also tells the story of a man with horse's head who seeks to become human. The play was first published in 1971. For more interesting aspects of the play, do try to watch the play Hayavadana on YouTube channel and try to read another and beautiful novel written by Girish Karnad, Tale Danda. It's a play again. The source for the text is Insights 2 prescribed by BCU. Hayavadana is a very interesting play. I hope you get the copy of it to read through this time of pandemic. Try to understand the deeper essence and meaning of the play and try to imbibe some good things from the play into practicality. Hoping you will understand. Signing off, Alia Naz. Stay home, stay safe.